and welcome. I'm Melinda Kilani. Tonight, NNPC Group Managing Director Mikantu Baru continues monitoring of fuel supply situation in Abuja, shuts down petrol stations found wanting. Nigerians savor the joy of Christmas with visits to the less privileged and fun spots. We continue our 2017 review with a focus today on how the education sector fared in the outgoing year. And Liberians troop out to exercise their franchise in a presidential runoff.
On business news tonight, oil prices hit 2.5-year highs as explosion rocks pipeline in Libya's biggest oil terminal.
On sports news, Tottenham Hotspur's Harry Kane breaks Alan Shearer's 23 record for the most English Premier League goals scored in a calendar year.
From Abuja, All Progressive Congress received defectors from opposition parties in Katsina and Delta states as Rivers State Governor calls for politics without bitterness.
We begin tonight with the continued effort by the Department of Petroleum Resources to bring sanity to the supply of petroleum products across the country. The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Mr. Mikantu Baru, led a team of DPR officials to some of the petrol stations in Abuja today. While one of the stations was found to be selling fuel above the government-approved pump price, another was allegedly operating without a license.
This particular station was discovered by DPR on a tip-off by good Samaritans, good citizens of this country, for which government is very much appreciative, and we want more of these good citizens to keep coming forward to tell us those stations where they are keeping products, they are hoarding products, and when they are selling above the price. In this particular case, DPR, when they came, they confirmed that this station is in fact an illegal station. But part of the actions taken by the department is to give away the product free. And that is what is happening now. All those in the queue, both motorcycles and cars and buses, are all getting this product free. And this is just one of the measures the department is taking if they find such locations.
And still talking about the fuel situation in the country, the president's media team seemed to be more concerned about the plight of Nigerians, especially the challenges they face in getting the product. They are also concerned about the stories of how owners of filling stations have increased the pump price of petrol and the belief in some quarters that the crisis is already fizzling out. So let's take a look at some of the reactions they got from Nigerians. We begin with this one from Gombe State, from Ahmed. It says, "In my place, fuel is still a problem. Filling stations are closed and those selling increase the price." And the next reaction is from Delta State. It says, "I wish to inform you that there is a black market depot in my neighborhood at number 29 Deeper Life Road, Ubeji in Warri. Here, trucks come to offload their content in drums to the black market under the supervision of law enforcement agents." And Joe Isibo from Benin says, hashtag fuel situation, still no fuel in Benin City. All the stations along Ekenwa Road are not selling. Then this fourth respondent says, please, is Port Harcourt not part of Nigeria? Fuel found in very few stations and still selling above 200 naira. Hashtag fuel situation. Then Akiola tweeted from Lagos and he says, this is to report that at about 11 a.m., 6 filling stations were selling at normal price. That's 145 naira. That was between Abulegba and Songo toll gate along the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. And the scarcity of fuel may have hit the nation's capital and really hard as well. But the residents appear to have defied the odds. Major fund spots in Abuja witnessed a massive turnout of fund seekers, even from neighboring states such as Nasarawa and Niger.
One after the other, residents of the Federal Capital Territory make their way into the Millennium Park, located in the nation's capital city, to celebrate Christmas with families and friends. But the celebrations are not without heavy security checks as visitors line up to be searched. And inside the park was a beehive of activity as children and adults danced to the rhythm of house music from these local drummers. The Christmas break, according to these fun seekers, offers them time to reconnect with loved ones.
This Christmas has brought unity. For quite some time, we have not been able to be together like this. But by the grace of God, this year's Christmas has brought us together, children, mothers, everyone together.
I'm happy today because it's been long I've seen my cousins, and today the Christmas has brought us together.
Some of the visitors speak on why they are here.
After yesterday's celebration, we came here with our loved ones to come and celebrate it and have fun.
I think that the best day ever because it has been so wonderful for me and my family. We're able to walk around, see new things, and it has been amazing.
There's a lot of fun, you know, everywhere, children playing around, even adults, we are having fun. There's no issue at all.
While the public holiday no doubt affords Nigerians an opportunity to reunite with their families and friends, they also hope to be refreshed after the Christmas holiday.
Christmas comes with the giving of gifts, and Nigerians are sharing the love with the needy in various parts of the country on Boxing Day. In Delta, Cross River and Rivers State, some people went out to ensure those who do not have enough are not left out of the celebrations.
Everyone loves surprises, and for those who do not, you certainly won't find them amongst these women of Sankwala village in the Banliku local government area of Cross River State. They are aged, and most of them widows. Their reason for singing and dancing is appreciation of gifts from a member of the community who surprised them by calling them together to give out items including rice and clothing.
I was not even hoping of this. I hope, in fact, wonderful. It's too much. It's too much. I'm very happy. I am very happy, and everybody here is happy.
The Good Samaritan gives a reason for his altruism.
Once you're born, you're no longer your mother's or father's child. You're everybody's child. And you never can tell one of them may have contributed one way or the other. So what can we do rather than to come home to say thank you?
In River State, around Gambia Street, little do the people know someone is about to come bearing gifts. It's food and medicine for perfect strangers. The poor in that area, visited by the River State chapter of the National Youth Council, assisted by a private foundation.
So you can actually see how hungry people really are. So if we love them and we can't actually give them something by showing that we actually love them, then it's not love.
This orphanage in Asaba, the capital of Delta State, is about to be paid a visit by yet other well-meaning Nigerians. As the gifts are brought out, the children are excited at getting gifts, even this little Batman.
I feel happy because they have come together to share with us and to give us something to use to celebrate for our Christmas.
This Christmas is very special to me because so many people are coming to visit us, to celebrate with us, unlike other times. So I feel so happy about it, and I like seeing that.
The Reverend Sister who cares for these orphans couldn't be more grateful.
It is only when God plants the love in people's hearts that people will be able to think of the orphans. Many have a lot, but they cannot give. It is not because of anything, but there are some people that God has chosen to receive this blessing. That is how I believe. So when I see like that, I appreciate them, and my heart is always full of joy.
The giver explains his motive.
Life is not always rosy for those who are in this kind of a place. And we took it upon ourselves to come and commune or hobnob with them to make sure that they understand that life is equally sweeter than they are seeing it.
It's smiling faces and happy children, as situations like this, which are clearly not isolated incidents, proves some Nigerians still go out of their way to make other people happy, whether they know them or not, especially this Christmas.
As Nigerians roll out the drums to celebrate another Christmas, with the year 2017 gradually drawing to an end, they also have reasons to look back and review some of the achievements and landmark activities. Tonight, we continue our review of the year 2017 with a focus on the education sector.
I want to thank the unions for actually understanding.
The year 2017 began on a quiet note, with the federal government inaugurating a tertiary education renegotiating committee to stem the tide of industrial action.
The inauguration of the renegotiation team is significant as it confirms to the union that government is committed to keeping its own side of the bargain and in ensuring that an environment that is conducive for teaching, learning, research and community service is engendered through lasting industrial harmony in all our tertiary institutions.
The relative peace in the sector was, however, interrupted with the abduction of 6 students of a secondary school in Lagos in May. This was followed by a strike action embarked upon by students of tertiary institutions in Oyo State, leading to the disruption of academic activities. With the resumption of academic activities in Oyo State, the Academic Staff Union of Universities opened the floodgate of strikes when the union declared an indefinite strike in August. ASU argues that the action was not only due to the failure of the government to fully implement the 2009 FGN-ASU agreement, but also the 2013 Memorandum of Understanding.
Based on a nationwide consultation with our members, an emergency meeting of the National Executive Council of ASU rose on Saturday, 12th August 2017, with a resolution to embark on an indefinite strike action.
The strikes and protests were not limited to ASU and Oyo State alone, as students from various higher institutions of learning in Osun, Ekiti, Ogun, as well as some other states went on strike for various reasons. Away from strike actions, the federal government launched an education statistics with the aim of documenting the government's policies on education.
The state fails if you falsify data and provide accurate information, maybe by increasing your population so as to get more revenue from the federal government. Well, that is not working anymore.
To stem the tide of unrest in the sector, the federal government organized an education summit where President Muhammadu Buhari stressed the need for qualitative education. A few weeks after the summit, the non-academic staff of universities and the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Universities embarked on a strike action. The sacking of teachers in Kaduna State by Governor Nasir El-Rufai resurfaced in the news as some of the affected teachers took to the streets of Kaduna to protest their sack.
These are professional teachers. These are teachers with master's degrees, very sound teachers.
Many times the decision we take offer us no political advantages in a polity long accustomed to false allure of populism. But we do what is necessary, not minding the direct impact on us personally.
In the course of the year, the National Universities Commission granted licenses to more private universities, bringing the total number of private universities to 74. The Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund also announced the release of over 1 billion naira to all public institutions. Although President Buhari has assured that his administration is committed to revitalizing the nation's education system and making it more responsive and globally competitive, issues of funding and incessant strike actions by students and staff of tertiary institutions remain a major challenge that needs to be addressed in 2018.
In part 2, after the break, we take a further look at the education sector in 2017, and we have Professor Aloy Ediogu in our studios to examine that. Please